Hey folks, Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist, and I was just asked about watches. What is my take on watches? What is it that I like? What is it that I have? So that kept in mind, I'm doing this video. So I don't have a great watch collection or anything. These are just a few of the ones I have, and some of these aren't even mine. This one, and this other one, these belong to my kids. But, you know, there is a general theme regarding some of my preferences. Most of all, I at least want something that is durable, that is quality. Casio makes quality, affordable watches, like most of you know. So most of those revolve around that brand. Seiko, Citizen also make quality watches and somewhat of a reasonable, affordable price. I guess that if you want to make this short, most people that are military, law enforcement, emergency personnel will most likely go for a Casio G Shock. That's just the way it is. It is an affordable, durable watch, and most likely that's what fills the bill for you. Now, there's also a couple other considerations keeping in mind the prepper survival mentality. I like watches that are pretty independent in terms of power. The only watch here that needs somewhat frequent battery replacement is this one. The rest are either solar or just automatic watches. So let's go left to right. This one belongs to my oldest son, and it's just a typical Casio. It is one of these tough solar brands, and I'll leave the links for some of these watches there below. Actually, where it said tough solar, it's already worn out, and that says a lot about how much this watch has been used over the years. So I bought it for him a few years ago. I don't remember if it was like a Christmas or whatever, but the thing is, he's been using it since then quite a bit and just taking the abuse. As you see, it's full of sand. He takes it to the beach when he goes swimming in the ocean or just doing sports, and the watch just keeps on ticking. As you see, it has like a high, medium, and low bar there for the power. That's the solar panel, and man, it is still in high, and it's still getting the job done. It has a little lights. You can just press it there. It's just barely enough for you to see, but it does work, and it's a tough, durable watch. You don't have, and this is for all of you folks that don't want to spend a lot of money on some of these things, then this is a great way to go. I think it's like 30 bucks. Just check the link. I just found this exact one. Sometimes it's difficult to find the exact same model because they just go out of production, but this one is still ticking, pun intended. I guess that says a lot about how much it's been liked and how successful it's been. Here I have my Citizen, I don't even know what model is this, definitely out of production by now, but this is a titanium Eco Drive, and they still make these, and this is over 20 years old. It is solar powered. It has an analog display, but it's actually a digital watch, and if you pull like the little levers and things here, it changes in a way that it just moves against the counterclockwise. It's just a digital watch, and all of this is a solar panel, so this is solar powered. The thing is, after 20 years, the rechargeable battery has pretty much said bye-bye, and if I keep it like exposed to sunlight all day long, it will start working again, but if not, I just need to replace that battery. Still a very nice, fine watch, being titanium, very light, and yeah, I like that solar function. Just a very nice watch. It's not super bright with that lumen, but it's just bright enough for you to see with it. This is one from my other son. This is also a tough solar watch, a little bit in a nicer condition, but again, pretty much the same thing. These are, you know, sport type watches, just good reliable timepieces that just keep on working. Then I have the Seiko Orange Monster and the Black Monster. I did videos about these few years ago by now, and these are just very nice watches. These are mechanical watches. There's no battery or electric components. So from a prepper standpoint, these would be the ones that in theory you could keep on using during a solar flare, EMP, that sort of thing. People that worry about that stuff a lot, this would be the type of watch that would keep on working when everything digital just goes bust. And man, again, same theme. same, a very tough, solid watch. These are diver watches, and those tend to be rather tough. It's a true diver watch. This is just not for show. It's actually moving in only one direction, like it actually is intended to for for divers, as to have an idea of how much oxygen you have left. It's very bright. The lumen in this stuff. Let me see if I can get that to cover that a little bit. But it's a little bit of light there. It is very, very bright, and it just glows with that radioactive look. Just very nice watch. It's strong. It has like synthetic material for the glass that is proprietary from Seiko. It's not sapphire, but it's very strong, and it's a little bit stronger in some regards, like less likely to crack than sapphire. So people have talked very positively about that glass that's using there. This is the first generation of Monster from Seiko, and it's actually gone up in price since then. So I'm glad I got two of these, and I just like both of them. The black one, the orange one. Maybe the orange one is the one that looks better, even though the black one also has this thing going. I've used both of these in the ocean, no problem whatsoever with salt water. Just rinse it a little bit with normal water afterwards, just in case. But these are intended so as to be used as true diver watches, 200 meters. So that's the thing. The orange display, I think it was the Russians that first used these for their diver's watch, because it was the one that's most visible underwater. But that lumen, man, that is just super bright once you go into a little bit of a darker place. It just covers very nicely and glows very well for several hours. This is more of a classic, and again, this one belongs to my oldest son. I had a similar one when I was a kid back in the day, the older model, and this is a little bit of a reminiscent from the Back to the Future movie. Michael Fox has one of these Casio with a calculator. This is the data bank version that has you can put some names and telephone numbers. Now, back in the day before smartphones, this was pretty cool because you had your calculator here. It's super light and very slim profile, which is nice. But I remember in those years you would have this, and if you were trying to get this to focus again, if you were at a friend's house, or if you were visiting someone and you didn't have like your numbers and such, man, cannot get this to focus at all. There it is. It would be it was a nice way of, okay, I don't have my phone book, and you would use this, and it was pretty nice to actually have your phone numbers accessible there. Use a payphone or whatever. Again, before the time of the smartphone, this was a pretty advanced piece of technology, and it's still quite nice. Of course, you have your alarms, all that stuff. You still have all of that here, and a good alternative too. Then I bought, a while back, I bought this one. This is the first G Shock that I ever bought. Again, trying to get the camera there to focus. And my idea was to just I was still living in Argentina, and I just wanted a G Shock that just was all black, didn't attract all that much attention, but I wanted to have a metal bracelet, because in my experience with the previous Casios I've had, the plastic one just cracks and breaks, and you end up losing your watch. I ended up losing a nice watch that had a digital compass, and since then I've always preferred to have metal in my watches. So that was what I was looking for, and I got this one. Is stainless steel with like an iron something finish, basically. And now it's also cool because it has like a radio system that it just gets itself in time every night. So it's an atomic precision that you have in this watch. So every night in most of the planet, it's just getting signals from somewhere, depending on where you are. And it's the most accurate watch that I have. And it's also tough solar, as it says there. So all of that display, well, that part around is like a solar panel, and just works like so. And the thing is, I use this watch a lot, but eventually I found out it was actually a limited edition, and now this watch has gone up in price quite a bit. It's actually the most expensive watch of the lot here. So since then I decided to just get a new watch, and the one I've been using for last several years is this one, the Casio Pro Trek Tough Solar. This one I just found it, and I left the link below if you want to check it out. I think it's going like for 260 bucks. It's actually a great price for the watch. This is all titanium, super lightweight, looks bulky but just weighs nothing. And you have several things going for it. This is all solar as well. You have all of that as a solar panel. You have a compass, a barometer. Yeah, compass. You pull it, push the little button there, and you have your compass, and you use that like so, and it actually moves, you know, as you move it as well. So you have that. You have an altimeter that doesn't seem to be all that accurate, but once you, the altimeter is based on where you are, and it's using the barometric pressure so as to tell how high you've gone. And it's usually quite accurate within its limits. You have to set it at a known height, and then for several hours, for several days, you will get pretty accurate readings, but eventually it just loses that precision because it's using the barometric pressure, which of course is constantly changing. But it is a function that if you have some parameters as to set it, you will have a little bit of precision there within 5 meters or so. And in my experience, it is, with those limitations in mind, it is quite accurate. Then you have the temperature as well. Remember, you have to remove it from your wrist several minutes so as to have the actual reading of the temperature and not your wrist. And you also have moon phase. I live in front of the ocean, so I like having the chart there of the tide. That's nice, and it's come in handy a couple of times. And then you have that little graphic there that is the barometric pressure, and each little dot there is like the last 2 hours, so it's like, I think it's like 12 hours back. So with that little chart there, what you know is if the last few hours, if the pressure has been going up or down. And after a while, after a time of having the watch, you kind of get a feeling of how the weather is going to be going, if it's dropping. So for example, if it starts dropping pretty steadily, you know you're going to be having bad weather, likely rain. If it drops very fast, you know, if it just drops very fast in that graphic, you know you're going to be having a storm. And sure enough, when I see that happen, eventually I see in the horizon a pretty nasty weather heading our way. So it's nice because that's kind of like giving you an idea of how things are going to be going. If it's raining and it all of a sudden starts going up, you know it's going to be getting better soon. And if it goes up very fast, the storm is usually gone pretty fast too. So just a nice, reliable watch. This is a little bit more flashy than if you want to go more tactical, but you know, for normal dress wear, it's titanium. I like titanium because it just holds on so well over the years. This one, man, this one is very old. I do baby this one a little bit more because it's not as tough as this one, but this one has also been holding on very nicely over the years. I also found one that's very nice. There's a model made by Casio that has a GPS that is partially solar powered. That's good enough for me. The thing is that watch costs like $800. I just saw it in Amazon, and I left the link there below as well. It's like 700 bucks. Man, yeah, it's nice, but not that nice. At least not for me that I have this one, which I'm already happy with. But if you want to get a shot, yeah, it is there for you to check out. So these are some the watches I have, and that's basically my take. I don't like those, you know, smart watches. For that, that's my cell phone for that. I don't need to have yet another gadget just to worry about. I like not having to worry about charging all of this stuff. The solar power thing is more of my liking, and the mechanical ones are nice, but if you're not using these constantly, you just have to set the time again and again if you're going to be switching watches. These hold on their own very well. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this little video. Remember, tomorrow 3 p.m. talking with Matt Bragging, as we've been doing these last few weekends. So watch that if you can. Share the video, like, check the links below if you're looking for a new watch. That's always appreciated. And see you in our next video. Have an awesome day.